this chapter is about the people in Singapore. All right, it's about the different kinds of people who came to Singapore and contributed to Singapore's growth and development. Okay, and we're going to be learning about different groups, okay, throughout this chapter. Just based on this picture alone, all right, this picture, this background picture, this is a very old picture, but added color. To modern technology, we can add color to old photos. These are Chinese coolies. All right, these coolies were working in the plantation. All right, as you can see, they are mostly men. All right, they usually have the same kind of hairstyle. All right, because this was the fashion in those days among the coolies. Right, and it's easier to maintain. Right, and you see the clothing all the same because they're all working for the same company. Right, okay. So students, this is a group of coolies. Okay, but we'll see many more photos in this chapter. All right, so let's listen. First, we need to watch this video first. Okay, let's learn about one of the migrants who came to Singapore. Wait, let me share with sound first. Share. Okay, let's learn about a very famous migrant. Okay, and then after that you got a question to answer already. So listen carefully to the video.
Stamford Raffles had promised Naraina Pillai many opportunities and a good living in the new port. However, when Pillai arrived in Singapore, he saw only a scattering of huts made of bamboo and grass, set amidst a background of dense jungle. Some others who had come with him from Penang returned to their boats and sailed back home. Pillai, however, decided to stay, determined to make a go in the new settlement. He noticed that many houses were being built, and very quickly. Capitalizing on this wave, he started a brick kiln and enlisted carpenters and bricklayers from Penang to join his growing business. Pillai became the first building contractor and soon added textiles to his growing empire. He owned the biggest shop in the bazaar at Cross Street. Then, in 1822, tragedy struck. Pillai's textile business at the bazaar burned to the ground. He had to take a loan to rebuild and eventually paid off everything he owed within 5 years. Despite these challenges, Pillai was determined to do something for the community. He built the Sri Mariamman Temple, the first Hindu temple in Singapore. It was completed in 1827. The temple still stands on the same site on South Bridge Road, nearly 200 years later. It is a reminder of the grit and determination of one of Singapore's first entrepreneurs.
Entrepreneur is like a businessman, like a business, start their own business, all right? So these are the kind of people who came to Singapore, but not everybody was like that. Some people who came are just regular coolies or laborers, all right, low-wage worker, but some were entrepreneurs, some were traders, all right? You have all sorts of people, all right, coming into Singapore when after the British established Singapore as a port, all right? Okay, so that's just one example. So what have you learned from this video? What was a contribution by Naraina Pillai? Choose more than one. Which is the best two answers? All right. A is correct. If you had answered A, he set up a successful cloth business. Textile business is cloth business. This one is correct. D. Okay. Yes, D is also correct. Everything else is wrong. All right. Okay. So yeah. So Brendan, you get 1 star also for one correct answer. All right. Those of you who answered A and D, you got 2 stars already. All right. Okay. Okay. So these migrants, right, they came from all over the world, all right? They came to Singapore from all over, from Malaya, from India, all right, China, Arabia, Europe. Okay, they all traveled, took a boat down towards Singapore, all right, to settle down in Singapore for various reasons. They came here to trade, they came here to do work as laborers, they came here to start their own businesses, all right, some even came here to lend money to other people, all right, all sorts of reasons why people came to Singapore. Okay, we're going to be learning about all these people. Okay, but the question I want you all to learn today is, why would people want to leave their home country? What is the reason for them to leave their home country? And the first reason we're going to look at is push factors. Push factors. You need to know what does push factors mean. Okay, push. Push factor means reasons that, you know, why people leave their homes. Usually these are bad reasons, negative reasons that pushes them out of their country, pushes them out of their own country. These are usually unfavorable reasons like danger, lack of food, lack of water, poverty. Poverty means being very poor. All right, life is very hard in their home country. They would rather find a better life in a new country. So these negative reasons, these bad reasons, these are pushing them out of their home country. Push factor. Give me a Zoom thumbs up if you understand what I'm saying so far. Okay, push factor, must understand. These are reasons that make people leave their home. All right. And they're usually negative reasons, right? They got a hard life at home, so they want to find a better life, so they find new country, all right? So push factors are reasons that make people leave their home country, okay? You can fill in the blanks here. What are some of these reasons? Poverty and hunger, too poor to feed their families, all right? Poverty means being very, very poor. Okay, if you don't know what does poverty mean, right? That means you are so poor that you can't even afford 3 meals a day. Maybe even 1 meal a day is also difficult. All right, you don't have enough money for food. All right, don't talk about houses lah, but you're most likely living in a slum or something like that. All right, overpopulation, too many people in your home country, not enough land, not enough food, not enough jobs. Natural disasters like floods and droughts that destroy crops, then cause hardship. Wars and conflict. Fighting made people fear for their lives. Okay, so if you don't know the meaning of some of these words, you can take it down. Like drought. What does drought mean? Drought means no rain for a very long time. This leads to shortage of water. Okay, it can kill crops, kill the farmers' crops. When the farmers' crops are killed, lack of food. It leads to lack of food. Okay, example of war and conflict. In China, right, there was this fighting, this conflict called the Taiping Rebellion, where the many Chinese were killed in this fighting. Lasted over 14 years, right, and more than 20 million, right, Chinese died. Okay, 20 million Chinese, over 20 million Chinese died. So many of these people, right, who survive, they rather go to somewhere safer. All right, they rather take a boat, travel to somewhere safer where they don't have to live in fear. So that's in China. And India, right? Wait, let's answer this question. How do you think people in China felt during this Taiping Rebellion? How do you think people in China felt during the Taiping Rebellion, where they was fighting for 14 years, more than 20 million Chinese died? Okay, let's answer this. Wow, that's a long answer. Yeah. Okay, yeah, very scared. Correct. Probably scared, worried as they might not survive. Okay. People live in fear, injustice. Okay. Constantly felt in danger due to the fact that there was high chance that they would be in harm's way. They had to be on high alert at all times. Those who would lose family. Okay, this answer I need to give 2 star. Right? Such a long and well detailed answer, right, for the effort. 2 star. Okay, so Hayden's in the lead already. Extra star down there. It's not stressful, right? Okay, come. Okay, students. India. India had problems as well, such as famine in India. All right. Okay, famine in India. Famine means what? Does anyone know in this class for a bonus star? What does the word famine mean? Send me a Zoom chat. Public message, not private message. Famine means what? Bonus star. All right. Shortage of food. Correct. So Megan's got a bonus star. Famine means shortage of food. Severe shortage of food. Severe shortage of food. Right? People starve for weeks and weeks and weeks. Right? That's famine. Okay. So Megan's got an extra star. Later I need to adjust the stars. All right. So famine in India. And why was there a famine? Because of a drought. Drought means no rain, right? No rain in India, in some parts of India. So all the farmland, right, the crops died. When the farm dies, right, when the crops die, people don't have food. All right. And if you don't have food, many will starve and die. All right. A drought in India meant crops cannot grow. Drought means what? No rain. Okay, how many Indians died? Over 1 million. More than 1 million Indians died, and therefore many left for a better life. All right. So you can see that people starve to the point where they become skin and bones. All right, skin and bones. Like this. This is a real picture of a family. All right, or starving. All right, because the crops died. All right, people are very dependent on farms. It's not like our lives today. We can go anywhere for food. Coffee shop, hawker center, shopping center, anywhere also got food. Random places also got food. But if you're talking about olden days in living in village life, you have to depend on the farm. All right, whatever the farm produce is your food. If your farm doesn't work, then you will starve. All right. Okay. Ken? Here's a picture of a village in China. All right, very poor people in China. They're living in poverty. You can see the kind of houses that they live in. All right, doesn't seem like a very easy and comfortable life they have. So that's why these reasons would push people out of their country, push them out, push factors. They want to seek a better life, all right, for themselves and for their families. Okay, here's a word cloud time. You need to give me at least three responses here. Three responses. Why would people leave their home country? Okay, good. All right, all these are correct. You can see my screen. All right, wars, poverty, famine. They wanted a better life because their life was difficult. All right, a drought caused crops to fail. They needed to find a better life in another country. All right, okay. So many migrants would choose Singapore. Many of these migrants, right, who wanted to find a better life, they will choose Singapore. All right. I mean, they went to many places and many came to Singapore. Right. They chose Singapore out of all the many places. Right. Because Singapore has pull factors. Pull factors is the opposite of push factors. Pull factors are positive reasons why you would go to that country. Why would you be pulled into that country because of certain good traits the country has, good reasons? So what are these good reasons? Firstly, Singapore is a good location. Don't take down anything first. I will tell you when to take down. Good location between India and China. Right now, India is here, China is here, then Singapore is here. You can see that Singapore is right in the middle, between India and China. So traders like to come to Singapore for resting, for refueling, for trading, all right, because it's right in the middle. So the traders from India will come to Singapore, traders from China will come to Singapore, all meet here in Singapore. Meet here together, then they trade down here. Okay, they're trading down here. All right, okay. So they don't need to travel all the way. They just travel halfway, stop at Singapore. All right. And then there was many things to be found in Singapore. Singapore had many markets that look like this, selling all sorts of things from all over the world. All right. Right. Sometimes the things come from this part, these islands, some come from India, some come from China, some come from Arabia, far away is Europe. All the things will come to Singapore. And then there'll be markets like this being set up to be sold. All right. People buy and sell things here. All right. Okay. And another reason is that Singapore is a free port. No need to pay tax. So traders like to come to Singapore to trade because they earn more profit. All right. We learned this in the last chapter. And also there is free immigration. Easy for traders to come and go. All right. No need to apply for this, apply for that. Okay. And migrants can earn better wages in Singapore. All right. So let's fill in the blanks. Jobs and wages. Can all of you take down the yellow sentence there? Many jobs in Singapore with good salary for migrants. Then fill in the blanks. Okay. So what are the pull factors of Singapore? There are many jobs in Singapore with good salary for migrants. Why? Because the British needed a lot of cheap labor to build roads and bridges and buildings. So they needed people to come in and work and help build all these things. All right. And they provided good salary, better salary than what the migrants can earn back home. All right. So that's why migrants were happy to come to Singapore and work, because firstly, there is jobs. Secondly, the salary is better than what they can get at home. So this is a pull factor, pull migrants into the country. All right. What is the pull factor? Many jobs with good salary. That is the pull factor number one. Understand, students? All clear? Next, many trading opportunities. Free port means no tax charge on goods. So traders kept bigger profit. Okay, I repeat. Free port means no tax charge on goods. So traders kept bigger profits. Then after that, free immigration also. No passes, permits, or paperwork needed. Traders can come and go freely. Easy to travel in and out of Singapore. All of you write down that. So second pull factor, many trading opportunities. Number three, location. Location. Singapore was in a great location. Located between China and India on the main trading route. Ships stop to rest, refill on food, water, and fuel, and trade. A wide variety of goods was available.